Hey there. I want to talk to you today about New Covenant prayer, what it is and a little bit of what it is not. Well, let's start by stating the obvious, what most Christians believe to be true, even those under legalism, and that is that prayer is powerful and that prayer should be Spirit-led. Now, I want to clarify both of these points. The first by pointing to the fact that it's actually the finished work of Jesus which is powerful, but prayer can be a way that faith expresses itself and is expressed, resulting in power. And the second, by connecting the idea of Spirit-led to enjoying grace. The truth that Spirit-led prayer is prayer that is in line with grace and inspired and filled with the power of the Holy Spirit and the outrageous love of our God. So hopefully these things are things that we have in common when it comes to what we believe about prayer. But let's go a little deeper into what it is and what it is not. So in order for us to understand New Covenant prayer, we must understand what underlines it, what its foundations are. Most Christians, the foundations of the Christian life are actually activities. Reading, Bible reading, prayer, and maybe giving. But these are just activities when the foundation of the Christian life is a person. It's Jesus and his finished work. And so the foundation of prayer is perfectly home and in line with this foundation. It's Jesus. And the foundation of prayer oozes what Jesus came and accomplished through his incarnation, his death, his resurrection, his ascension. This foundation oozes, it is finished. And although so many are stuck in the mindset which asks for more, true prayer remains enjoying which we have already been given. While we're on the subject, let me say that God has provided a complete holistic salvation. A salvation that includes every blessing that we could ever ask, think, or imagine. Asking for what Jesus has already provided is so common among church folks, but it is foreign among the Apostle Paul and the other apostles who boldly, consistently reminded the church that they are complete and have been given everything that Jesus is and has. Paul went so far to say, Romans 8:17, that we're joint heirs with Christ. And one of the most common misconceptions of prayer is that prayer is a weapon. It's something we do, it's something we win with. When the truth is, we already have the victory in Jesus. The Bible again and again tells us that we share in his victory. And even in Ephesians 6, when Paul talks about spiritual armor, he doesn't mention prayer as a tool to victory in and of itself. But what he does mention are beliefs that are centered around the finished work of Jesus. Jesus is the one who achieved for us. Prayer doesn't achieve. And so although prayer isn't a work for us to get God to give what we supposedly lack, prayer is a channel which faith can use to enforce the victory already won. The Holy Spirit loves to show us our beauty, our inheritance, our heavenly surroundings in a real way. And although this can look like many different, things, it can take many different shapes, it is being conscious of this that constitutes prayer. Faith expresses itself through this way. This consciousness can take many different ways, but is this what, this consciousness, it searches the deep things of God. When we understand prayer as a way that is Spirit-led, as a way that we enjoy our Daddy's love, his nearness, as a way to search our inheritance, we disconnect from the idea that prayer is hard or foreign or distant. New Covenant prayer introduces us to the privilege of wanting. We don't have to pray to get God to give us a good day. Prayer is enjoying that which we already have. It's turning our attention to him. Prayer does not take away from enjoying life. Prayer is kissing God and being kissed in the midst of enjoying the fullness. And that can take so many forms. I've already said prayer can be a channel which faith uses to operate. And because of this, it can... many have attached the emphasis onto an outlet of prayer and turned it into a formula. But the problem with making prayer all about its function of prayer is that it turns it into a formula and it makes it about do rather than what Jesus has done. And prayer can take traditional outlets. It can be talking to God, speaking the word, commanding, speaking in tongues, and these are great. But the heart of prayer is being loved and partnering with the Holy Spirit. And so faith may operate through these things, and that may be prayer. But it can also operate, prayer can look like ways that are personal to you. New covenant prayer is about Jesus, and so new covenant prayer is about you. And there is no tension between the above statement, because the focus of prayer is union. It's not attaining, it's enjoying. And because it's enjoying, it becomes Spirit-led. The flavour of faith is rest, and of course the flavour of prayer is rest. Nothing about prayer should detach us from reality, because, Daddy God is perfectly at home in us, and we can enjoy Him wherever. So enjoy faith today. Don't limit prayer to the confines of tradition. Enjoy the Spirit and be led into the glorious, happy experience by the one who knows you, adores you, and loves you.